Hey everyone, I'm Stefan with Saniderm, and today we're going to be talking in detail about how to properly wrap a tattoo with Saniderm. So before we get into wrapping the actual tattoo, there's a couple things I want to cover. Obviously, always make sure to shave the area of the tattoo, but in addition, you want to shave, I would say 2 inches, a 2-inch radius around the tattoo as well. This is going to help the bandage adhere better and avoid issues with potentially ingrown hairs while the bandage is on. The second thing you're always going to want to do is make sure to clean the area very, very well with a gentle antibacterial soap is what we recommend, and just make sure all the residue from whatever products you were using during tattooing is completely removed before applying the bandage. We always recommend you glove up for this process and the entire process of applying the bandage just to prevent potential contamination issues considering it's a fresh tattoo. You're going to want to start off by cleaning and drying the new tattoo pretty thoroughly. We recommend using something that's gentle, antibacterial, and ideally that uses natural ingredients. For step 2, we're going to cut the bandage. When we cut the bandage, like I said initially, you want to make sure and leave at least 1 inch of extra room around the tattooed skin just to help the bandage adhere better. When you're applying the bandage, especially in areas that have a tendency to get caught on things or just not adhere well in general, it can be a really smart idea to round the edges of the cut. This is going to help the bandage stay on better, and it's going to help the bandage clip and shear less. The next step, step 3, you're going to want to peel off the white paper backing. It's always easiest if you peel it off with the waved creases on the back of the bandage. You can also peel it off from either the top or the bottom edge of the bandage. However, I always find that it's easiest just to peel it from this wavy crease right here. All right, next step is step 4. Once you remove the paper backing, the adhesive is going to be exposed. You're just going to want to apply gentle pressure in the center of the bandage and then gently apply pressure outwards from the center of the bandage. You're also going to want your client or whoever you're applying this to have their body part in a neutral position. So they're not flexing it, they're not tightening it, just somewhere in the middle. Because if you have it either way, it's going to end up pulling on the skin after a day or two of wearing it. So once you have it on and it looks good and feels good, you go ahead and take off the second layer of the bandage. And again, just like the first layer, I always find it's significantly easier if you remove this from the wavy crease near the center of the bandage. So the last and final step of Saniderm application is actually going to come between 8 and 24 hours after you apply the first bandage. The first bandage we only recommend keeping on for between 8 and 24 hours just because your body's going to be pushing out a lot of plasma during that time typically. And depending on the tattoo, it may be pushing out a lot of plasma and you may need to replace it before that 8-hour mark. And if you do, that's totally fine. When you're removing a Saniderm bandage, the technique that we recommend you use is almost like peeling a banana. You want to peel almost straight down, pulling it back over itself as you go. Once it's time to remove the first bandage, we strongly recommend doing it in the shower. You can just kind of peel it down a little bit and let water in, and the water will go in and kind of loosen up the adhesive from underneath. I always recommend taking it off in the shower. It just makes the process so much easier. So after you remove the first bandage, assuming you removed it in the shower, make sure and clean it and make sure that it's dry. Typically, I just recommend letting it air dry for a few minutes or using paper towels. I don't recommend using bath towels or house towels just because those have a tendency to build up bacteria and you don't want to be putting that on your fresh tattoo. Once the area is clean and dry, you're going to want to apply the second bandage. When you're applying the second bandage, just use the same technique as the first one. The only difference is that the second bandage you can leave on for 3 to 5 days. So using Saniderm on your tattoo for the full 6 or 7 days that we recommend is going to help the healing process significantly. However, even after the second bandage comes off, the healing process isn't going to be quite over yet. You're still going to want to keep it moisturized, and to do that, we recommend using our Sanibalm Plus product. So all the balms we make use completely natural formulations, and they're designed specifically for tattoos. Thank you guys so much for checking out our video on how to apply Saniderm. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and if you have any other questions, check out our website. We have a huge FAQ with a lot of information there, or feel free to message us through our website or on Facebook.